Supervive just launched its new patch, and with this, a lot of new changes. Now, this might be a lot of text and a lot of reading, so I'm here to try to skim this down to a little bit so it's easier to see what is actually new this patch. Check it out. Okay, so the goal with this video is to give you all of the useful information in as short time as possible, so you don't have to read through everything in the patch. Number one, Battle Pass experience required reduction. So that means that it is now easier to get rewards from Battle Pass. Nice. Okay, let's move on. Leveling rework. This is the big part about this patch. Now you're not capped by days anymore. That means you can farm and farm and farm, or you keep on leveling up. This means when you start the game, the bosses and monsters will be at level 6 and also up to level 15. That means you have a much higher cap. This also means that your abilities can now go up to level 4 instead of level 3. So a lot of hunters might change up their ability order. So check out for more guides and people giving out free advice around that. There is also new changes, meaning that experience is giving in a different way. Previously, when you knocked somebody and killed the wisps, you get experience. Now when you knock somebody, you get experience. This also means that you get more experience from knocking people that are higher level than you, and less XP if you knock people that are lower level than you. There is also 50% decrease if you knock people at the same person over and over again. So don't, as I say, no blood bags, please. What is really important about this experience change is that early game is a lot more about farming now. If you want to go instantly into PvP, you might meet a lot of teams that are a lot higher level than you. So farming early is going to be a lot more crucial. Now, finding those niche XP timers and when it's good to fight and when it's good to farm, I'll probably make a guide about that later, but this is more about getting you introduced on what is happening in this patch. So remember, do farm in the start. Experience is going to be a lot more important in the early game. With this, there are also changes to some of the bosses, how they work. Now, vulnerable states are longer. Meteor Soul is now better. You can get more level 4 upgrades, and etc. Arena will also in this be level 15 if you're an arena enjoyer. Nice to have. Also, new change to day and night 1 revival rules. This is no longer only on a single person cooldown. When you die and then you die again, you'll have a new cooldown. Now it's per team. So when teammates die, it'll go up to 25, 30, 45, 40, 45, 50, etc. per team. This is very important to note. So if your team members has already died 3 times and you die for the first time, you'll already be on 40 seconds. So be careful about those timers. Now, so what is important? Hunters, some balance changes. With the new ability upgrades, there's also some new upgrades that will change how the hunters work. These are for Celeste, Eluna, and Void. We'll get back to them. Balance changes. Bibo! Bibo's hella fun. I said earlier, he's in the middle of the pack. The better you are on the hunter, the more value you get out of him. I still think it's true. I'm very surprised they actually wanted to buff him. I think it's very interesting. So Bibo will get like a slight notch. Not making broken or anything, but it helps him out for people that are new to him, and people that are really good at him will have a niche little buff. I think it's nice. We'll get more into tier list later this week, so watch out for that. Brawl, everyone's favorite hunter. He's dead, guys. Like he's dead, okay, guys? Brawl is absolutely murdered. Like, he's empowered attack speed from 100% to 0%. No wisp reset. The damage on LMB is lower, the hitbox is low. Guys, he's dead, okay? Like, let's not talk about Brawl anymore, okay? Thank you. Nice, good. Celeste, very interesting changes. Now Celeste Q is different. I'm talking about the Frozen Barricade. You can now recast it to place the wall so it will stay still. I think this is really interesting. It might get a lot of people back onto the Celeste train. I'm curious about testing this myself. Now also for the RMB changes, your damage depends on how long it travels. So it's more about like making sure that are you using it close, are you using it long range. So that will also impact how the slow though. So the range impacts the slow and damage. And then new level 4 upgrade on the shift. This means that when you shift over Abyss, it will create ice under your feet. Very interesting. I like the changes. I'm curious to see more Celeste in future. Eluna also got some changes. Heals now up 500% effective on Wisp. Interesting. Also, Air Dash new level 4 upgrade. Upon picking up an ally Wisp, if your cooldown is above 2 seconds, then set the cooldown to 2 seconds. This means that if you max Air Dash, this means that you are playing more for picking up the Wisp. It's more for the mobility in general and helping out your team. And then R&B level 4 upgrade, detonation radius increased by 100%. I'm gonna tell you, it's huge, as somebody might say. So the new Eluna changes are quite interesting. I don't think this will like help Eluna too much. Like maybe if you play carry Eluna, then you will have a little bit more impact with an R&B max. Be curious to see more Eluna in the future as well. Felix. Why are they nerfing Felix? He's so bad at the moment. I don't know, guys. I don't know why. Like, it's tiny. Like, they reduce his toughness, but why are they nerfing Felix? What did he do to you? So I'm sad about that. I think Felix needs some help. Like, he's in a rough, bad state. I'm sorry, Felix. Rest in peace. Hudson, now they're changing how his LMB and R&B work. His range is now switched between LMB and R&B, so his R&B has more range. I think this will make Hudson a little bit stronger. I'm surprised they chose to go this direction. It doesn't really make sense because you give more power to the R&B. Before, you could either choose like, oh, you want to hold the LMB for more range, or do you want to use the R&B for more damage? Now you have more range and more damage on the R&B, so kind of just better. And you have no repercussion for it, unless like you're just slower than you're vulnerable on the back. But that like is weird, but like I don't mind it. Hudson is still bad. People won't pick Hudson. Please don't. Jin, nerf. Good. Nerf the dash impulse on charge by 10 to 40% based on timing. I'm curious to see how this will actually work out, but this is one of the most like frustrating things about Jin, where he can just infinitely go with his momentum, basically driven with LMB. So my hope is that he just can't do it forever now. That's the only thing. I don't think Jin is really strong by any means. They did also choose to reduce his damage. So I would say Jin is gonna be pretty bad now. But we'll get back to that in the tier list. Void, my love. Void R&B, Void is slowed for 25% less when casting Void Snap. That is a big buff. Like, movement is very important for Void. And also, level 4 upgrade. On cast, Void grants 50% movement speed for 2 seconds. On impact, Void gains another 100 movement speed for 2 seconds. That is a very interesting new level 4. And then shift, Void has Void and his allies gain 300 HP shield whenever they enter the outgoing teleport zone. This applies to Wisp. I don't think that's good. I don't think you ever want to do it. Like the bomb level 4 is still like really good, but I can see a lot more reason to go R&B now. Shift, you never want to go level 4 shift on Void, but R&B changes, I think it's very, very interesting. I'm looking forward to that. And then Seth, his mobility is really good with the bee hopping, so they're reducing the momentum used with his bee hopping for a little bit. You can still reset, and it's not going to be bad by any means, but it's not to give him infinite bee hopping potential, which I think is a fair change. I was a little bit afraid of them removing bee hopping, but this is just like tuning down a little bit, which I didn't think they could do it in this way. So I think it's a creative nerf, which I really like. And then we're getting to combat. This is not really too important. Mana, this is important. Your mana is refilled upon knocking an enemy hunter. This is big. I wonder how this will feel in games. I don't know if this will be like, if all teams, like all members, like it's more about specific hunters getting that reset. For KP, as a KP player, this will be huge if I'm able to get that finish, especially with the double tech build. But it's going to be very specific, maybe trying to think more about who you can give the kill to refund the mana can have a very, very big impact. Powers. We love new powers. Bebo's Boombox. This is an exotic. Plays otherworldly music that makes everyone in its radius invulnerable. I think it's very interesting. I wonder what kind of plays you can make with it, but I do think this will be a very, very good exotic that you can play around as a team. Especially curious to try it out in scrims. Thornshell is back. I really liked Thornshell. I was a little bit sad when it was removed, but it's good with damage reduction. I think the deflection part and things you can play around that with tanks, I think it's very interesting. Happy to have Thornshell back. Avalanche and Mega Avalanche is also back, a little bit nerfed. I wonder how it'll be. They're really fun. I think it's cool to play with, so I'm excited to try that. And Power Shuffler is also back. Now self-destructs when it upgrades to a non-exotic into an exotic. I think this is a very good. This is exactly what I needed. Power Shuffler was mega broken before, so this is a very, very good nerf. It'll make it into a healthy state, which I feel like you'll still want to use Power Shuffler. It won't be the best of the best, but I think it's healthy, which I think is very, very good. Biz Specialist is very interesting. Now it uses your glider gas instead of the internal cooldown. I wonder how this will actually feel in game when you use it with certain hunters, but I imagine this will be a good buff for like maybe Jewel because of how long you can use the dash. So Jewel mains might be a little bit happier with this. Fate Rewind now only restores 50% of your previous HP instead of all of it. This is a very good nerf. I do think the cooldown is still a little bit low on it, but this is a good direction of nerfing it. Not giving too much power to it. Very good. Replicator, 5-minute cooldown. Whoa, that's a lot. I wonder how much you can actually get value out of it, as a max game will be like 20 minutes, so you will most likely get like 2, maybe 3 uses of it, depending on how early you can get it. But I think this is a healthy nerf overall. He needed it, like Replicator was broken. Magnetic Vacuum, Vacuum Force on living places cut by 50%. This is good. Vacuum was broken, but it's still, I still think it's legendary. They haven't said anything about bringing it back to exotic, so I do think you'll still be able to duplicate it. But then again, Replicator is also nerfed, so this is a big nerf to Magnetic Vacuum. I'm gonna have to test out specific numbers on how it feels, but it's in a really good direction. Little Helper, changes in the percentage chances of getting thing. Now 40% anywhere but here, 14 death circle nade, and EMP grenade is new consumable back, which I think is fun. EMP grenade is really good to force people out of their armor. In late game can be good to set up to destroy it, so I'm happy to have EMP grenade back. And guys, remember, if feral smoke, it's useless. Never use that consumable. It is so terribly bad. It is so useless. Never use that. But EMP grenade, use that. Really good. EMP, good. Gnarled Heart, more expensive. Good. I think that's great. Armor, more clear. Also good. Global Shop, more expensive. Very good. Like, this patch is like very, very good so far. I'm liking this. Now, Exotic is still a little bit too easy to get. 20k is not a lot of money. I'm pretty sure if you use the farm quest, vault quest, it'll still be a speedrun. So I would love to see if the exotic can be more expensive, but I think this is a good direction overall. I like the global shop change. Map Academy anomaly is now off at the start, won't turn off on day 2. Interesting. I kind of like being able to use it from the start, like play around the academy. Oh, I fucked up. Take the portal, get out, but it's anywhere but here. So a little bit sad, but like not too big of a deal. Wellspring has some changes. I'm interested to see how it will feel and look, but I do agree that Wellspring did need some changes. It's more of the clunky sides of the map, so I think it's fine overall. And then some team communication updates to pings. Make sure you check them out. Pause if you would like to see, not super important. Emotes update, and Clyde stuff. Overall, I would say this is a great patch. I'm really excited to test and get more into the nitty-gritty with experience. I will maybe make a guide about how to use experience as effectively as possible, but I'll need to play a lot more about it to be able to get you all the details. Hope you enjoyed the rundown. Make sure you like and subscribe, and check out for tier list on hunters coming out later this week. Then see you on the Skylands. Peace out.